What's up, Miss Christina? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Also, it's nice to be able to talk to you. I've heard so much about you already.
Thank
All
you.
good things, yeah. So really just wanted to take time first to get to know you. I just wanted to hear more about what life was like before hearing about us, before starting a program, before the transformation project.
Oh man, I actually started this journey different than what most people did. I didn't start it for weight loss. I started it to actually pretty much save my life.
Okay.
My son has kidney disease, and so the stress was astronomical. My blood pressure was like 151 over 104. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I would drink every night because I thought that would manage the stress. I was having heart palpitations. I was in a bad place. And the first time I talked to Nick, he was like, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And I was like, dead, because I didn't think I was going to make it that long. I was taking lorazepam to sleep and blood pressure medicine and everything. And so that's how my journey started.
How long had that been going on for you for all the symptoms that you were experiencing?
Um, well, the no sleep, drinking, impatient, and just, no sleep and no eating makes you really not a good person. And so that was for years. The heart and blood pressure and all that stuff was probably about 6 months.
Okay. Did you go to doctors for that?
Oh, thousands of dollars worth of doctors. Actually, the last one I went to, which is actually why I signed up, Nick said to me, oh, I'm sure this doctor came in, I'm sure he was fat. And he was like, what, he didn't do much. And I'm like, he was fat and he was out of breath. I was more worried about him than I was myself. And I was like,
Something Nick
no,
would say.
his passion, I think, is what made me more, because he was so passionate, and he was like, you deserve to be here. Like, this isn't hard. Like, you can do this. And I'm like, no, I can't. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of this. It's a lot of time counting my macros. Like, who has time for that when you're dealing with everything else I'm dealing with? So it was excuse after excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to keep this on you. The one thing I will say about Nick is he does not allow you the time to self-doubt.
no, and honestly, within the like maybe 5 weeks, I was off of all my blood pressure medicine. I was sleeping. I was learning how to manage stress. It was like the metabolic restoration phase was the hardest phase to go through, because it's life changes. It's life. It's everything is so. If you can get through that, you can make it through everything else in this program.
Yeah.
That is the hardest part.
We'll get into all the metabolic restoration and like your program so far. But I do want to hear more about the doctor experiences that you had. Like, how long were you going to the doctors? What did they tell you? Did anyone ever ask about nutrition for you?
No, not one doctor asked me what I was eating on a daily basis, what I was drinking on a daily basis. Immediately, they threw me on heart or blood pressure medicine. They said that my Vyvanse, which I've been on for many, many, many years, is what caused my blood pressure and my heart rate to go up. And I'm not even on that. Who knew eating would make you focus more? Like, it's just, eating changes your life. Who knew? So yeah, I was on different medicines. I had to wear a heart monitor. I went to 2 different cardiologists. I mean, the first one, they don't take the time to listen. They don't ask questions. It was just kind of like, doctors nowadays just really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
At least mine did.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people kind of go through that. No one ever really asks what are you actually eating? What does your lifestyle look like?
Not one of them asked me that.
Do you know how many doctors you went to?
Two cardiologists. I went through 2 cardiologists in about a 3-month time period.
Okay. So then how did you find us? How did you get to reach out to Nick?
That's because my best friend Amanda has been trying to actually get me to join this program for, Lord have mercy. I mean, 8 months plus. I mean, for a long, long time, and it was always the excuses. I don't want to, because I don't have time for that, and it was always an excuse. And she's like, if you just, the more you put excuses on there, you're just never going to get healthy. You're just always going to be this miserable person that you are. I'm like, So she's actually the one that got me started on it. And I started kind of watching videos, and I love the community, and I loved the coaches, and I was like, okay. And then that's pretty much how it kind of started. I kind of started following when I started this, I was 138. And I started watching my macros, started watching what I was eating. I was like lowering down my drinking, but I wasn't doing a very good job of really doing that either. And so when I joined the program, it was the end of March. And now I'm at 131, and I just came out of the restoration phase of it. And so now we're at the fat loss part of it.
Okay. And you touched a little on your first conversation with Nick. And he actually even brought that up to me too. He remembers it too, very specifically, that you had mentioned that you saw yourself in 5 years, most likely dead.
I did. I
Yeah.
really did. Because
That,
I couldn't do the things I needed to do with my kids anymore.
mm-hmm.
Like I was tired all the time and I was wore out. And I mean, I would lay in bed and I could feel like my blood pressure would be so high that, I mean, so many times I thought I was going to have to go to the emergency room. I actually thought I was having a heart attack on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
Yeah. So what was the final trigger for you to actually sign up?
Nick saying, just give me a try because I'm going to get you healthy. You give me 6 months and I'm going to have you off of all that medicine and I'm going to have you where you need to be. And he is ahead of his schedule. I mean, I have to put the work in, but him being the passionate coach that he is, I mean, he's no bullshitter. Like he's going to give it to you. And I'm like, do I really want a glass of milk? And I better not, because I really don't want to get my ass chewed out this week. Because that's what you need. You need somebody that's going to give it to you and not be like, oh, well, you had one glass. He's like,
That's exactly what it is. So what were some of the first starting things that you had to do to start out your program? You mentioned that you're in metabolic restoration and you have been up until recently.
July 4th, I started my fat loss phase.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that restoration period. Again, what were some of those first things that you started to have to do or
I had to eat. And I never, when I was younger, I was bulimic. I've always had an issue with food, always. So I don't think I even was eating 1,200 calories for the past my whole life. I don't think I mean, I'd have days like maybe my Saturday would spike up and then I'd see my weight and then I'd freak out and jump back down. But I would binge and purge when I was a kid. I've always had issues. And when he would up my calories and I'd have a freak out, get anxious and start having anxiety, he's like, Christina, it's just eating. It's just food. And my weight's going down and I'm eating more. I'm like, how is this possible? Like, I'm eating as much as Amanda. Like, and I'm like, smaller than her. Like, how is this happening? But I had to eat and not drink it. I mean, I had to put the work in. Like, you can't just think it's going to happen on its own and that all of a sudden you're going to get in this health kick and you're going to lose weight and it's going to be so like, it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm. So you were roughly eating close to that 1,200 calorie mark?
We'll go with that.
Okay. So somewhere around there. Where did you end up with the amount of food that you were eating?
2250.
Okay. And how'd you feel there?
At that moment, I started getting more full. I was never hungry, but I enjoyed eating. I was like, ooh, I can have this like Yasso ice cream bar, and I can have like, it was fun. But now that,
A whole new world of.
it was like, I'm like, I mean, my face stopped breaking out. My hair is healthy. My hair was falling out, and now it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and actually, even through my metabolic restoration, because we were watching my heart, we monitored my blood pressure, we monitored my heart. I wasn't doing any like weights, any working out. I would walk occasionally, but even at that, and I really wasn't doing a lot. So my weight kept coming down, and I felt much better. Like I felt like a new person. My kids saw a new mom, and that is what meant the most. Is that I was a better mom because I'm joining a freaking program, a health program, and my coach is like, just eat.
Yeah. So you weren't working out during that restoration period. Were you working out prior?
No, I used to work out a lot. And then when Wyatt got sick, I didn't work out at all.
Okay. So you weren't put on a strict fitness workout routine during this time. Okay.
No.
So you've been all the results you've achieved so far have been due to just the increase of actually
Eating and not drinking. I mean, alcohol, and I love champagne and wine, but alcohol really is like, it's really detrimental to if you're really wanting to lose weight and really wanting to get healthy. I mean, it is super detrimental.
Yeah. Um, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but tell me again your wins so far. So off certain medications?
I'm off all of my medications. I'm actually at a healthy weight. I'm eating fruits and berries. Like for me, that's a win. I'm not drinking wine. Today's actually been 7 days straight without me. And usually, like on Saturday, I'd chill out and have a glass of wine, and I haven't had it at all. So I went to the movies, didn't drink. That was new for me. I'm like, whoa, this is different. Drinking my root beer during the movie.
It just shows you that you are in control of your actions.
You are, and you
Yeah.
got to put the work in.
Yeah. So off medications, sleep.
Sleeping without lorazepam. I sleep all night long, managing my stress. Now I've learned how to uh, put in categories the stuff I can control and the stuff that I can't control. Learn how to separate it out, and that's a big one.
Yeah,
Because
that's incredible. Have you started working out now heading into this next phase? Okay.
yes, though this week I did
No.
today, but
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I really didn't. And it's like we went into fat loss, and like you just didn't feel like you needed to do it this week. But yeah, I started weights last week again. I have a torn labrum in my shoulder, so I got to be kind of careful with what I do. So just slowly getting myself back in there, not jumping in with both feet. Working out's just kind of, I love to run, I love to power walk, and I love to walk. So that's usually like my favorite things to do.
What would you say your biggest takeaway from all of this has been?
That's a really hard one because there's so much. I mean, honestly, just eat. Just listen to your coach and put the work in, because like I said, if you can get through the metabolic part of this, of changing your lifestyle completely, it comes so natural and so easy after that. Sometimes I don't even weigh my food anymore. Like I can look at it because of, eating the same yogurt, same thing all the time. You know what you know. And so, I mean, you just got to put the work in, and it's worth it. It's worth being healthy. It's worth living a healthy lifestyle. It's worth living life.
Something you've touched on actually quite a bit is put in the work.
Because a lot of that was always my excuse, and then I look back and I'm like, why didn't I just? It was always excuses. I don't have the time to track this, and I don't have the time to to track that, and the money. Like honestly, I'd have paid $5,000 plus years ago to get where I am right now. And it's amazing. Like you just feel so good. You sleep good. You're a better person. Like it's just life changing.
I think a lot of people kind of have had a similar mindset in the sense of they want the results that they're not willing to work for.
And if you don't put the work, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not, hey, in 2 weeks you're going to see a big difference. My scale's going to go down 10 pounds and I'm going to have muscle it doesn't work that way.
No. Well, it's really cool, Christina. That's very, very interesting journey that you've had, and I do think that's going to be very relatable to a lot of people. If there was any bit of advice that you could give to someone that may be in a similar situation to you, maybe going through similar hardships, what would you tell them?
Trust your coach. Trust what your coach is telling you, because your coach knows. You think you know, but your coach knows better, and what they're saying is true. And put the work in.
Yeah.
Put the work in and make yourself a better person. Make yourself better. We can go out to eat and spend $100 every time we go. We can go buy a bottle of wine for $10 to $15. You can eat at Chick-fil-A every single day, but to actually put money into where you're at, where you could be, we don't have the money, we don't have the time. Like you have time to do other things that are not healthy for you. We have time to go to a bar, but we don't have time to go to a gym and work out.
Yeah.
And just put the work in. Trust your coach.
Moral of the story today is do the freaking work.
Sorry. All right. Yes, do the work.
Do the work. Is there anything else that you would like to share that we haven't covered already? Anything else?
No, I think I'm good. I'm thankful for Nick and Amanda and the community and all of you coaches, because y'all just keep everybody motivated. When you go, everybody adds their food daily to food pictures, and you know, people's workout, you know, you get motivated. It's very motivating. Everybody is just, it's such a good group.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, Christina, thank you so much for taking time out of your night to be with us and for me to talk and get to know you, and being vulnerable. I know that's hard. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Everyone's really going to benefit from that. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.